boy. Shut-ins. What's going on? Welcome to another episode of Conversations with Chazz. Here I am. So listen, it's December 10th. It's a Friday. 9 months ago, it wasn't March 10th, but it was the second week in March, and we were all getting announcements that things were going to be closing up, jobs were going to be locking down, and it seems like today where it's happening again. A lot of places that were opening are closing. The indoor dining opened up for about a couple of months, and as of Monday, it'll be closed again. I mean, it sucks because a lot of businesses are gonna falter, and it's not helping anything like that. A lot of places don't have the space to actually do the whole outdoor seating and putting huge lamps and putting bubbles and iglooing people into an area so we can be safe. So it's back to takeout again. So Uber Eats will be our friend. And a lot of us know how to cook, and a lot of our friends know how to cook, so we could be teaching each other cooking stuff on our channels. Why not? With that being said, these 9 months have been pretty interesting for a single guy like me, one, and for many of you. A lot of you had to completely stop working. A lot of y'all probably got evicted. A lot of you probably couldn't collect unemployment. A lot of people did. A lot of people scammed. A lot of people didn't. But it's been a rough time. I have a lot of friends who've been like, "Oh my God, but I can't do this and I can't do that." I'm like, what about the fucking 40,000 other people that can't do shit? It was a lot of that. I was hearing a lot of me, and a thing, but I'm like, it's the whole us kind of thing. We're all fucking stuck. We all can't do shit. But just a lot of us aren't talking about it. You know what I mean? We don't, come on, we're going through enough. So it's let's try to do something to make ourselves better. So that's what I did, outside of the 1,000 Zoom happy hours and stuff like that. Which was actually the most safest thing ever, because you go out, you are in your house, and all you're doing is logging in, and you're logging off, you get real tipsy and wasted, and you just flap your Mac or your book and close, turn everything off, and that's it. You don't have to hail a cab, you don't have to get an Uber, you don't have to take the subway, so it was so I was kind of feeling it. I was calling people who I wouldn't call, you know what I mean? Then I got in touch with a lot of people that I haven't spoken to in years, and I had to figure, it was no reason why we haven't spoken. We just grew up and we're doing our own thing. But social media became a place where a lot of us moved away, so that happens, so it was good to reconnect with some people. I was bumping into people I haven't seen ever, forever, and that was really cool too. They was like, "Oh my God, we noticed you posted a picture on social media. You had your mask on and a helmet." That's how we saw it. I'm like, "Oh, cool." You know what I mean? So people, and then they nobody glasses, or they recognize you by something. So it's really cool that then you end up losing a couple of friends because you go through this whole lockdown shit, and it's like, hey, damn, who can I call? All the people that you were hanging out with, drinking with, and doing all this shit, and you think you could call them? Nah, it was I couldn't, you know what I mean? I was like, oh, some, my coworkers, we stayed in touch the whole damn time. It was just we became a family and shit, so we're cool, you know what I mean? But it was friends that you supposed to be your ride or die and shit like that. Where were they? You know what I mean? Then you had the whole movement. You had a whole human rights movement come up. oh, I have never seen so many people lay down when they should be standing up. It was kind of disappointing. And the disappointing part for me was, you have people who spend their times with people of color. They spend times with people in the LGBT community, but when it's time to take a stand, like, where are you? No, don't lay down. Stand up. Yeah, I just didn't like that. You can't lay down while you're supposed to be standing up. You know what I mean? Like, you're supposed to be for the movement. Like, it just didn't sit well with me. It really didn't. It didn't sit well with me. It still doesn't sit well with me. Because there's a lot of friends that you thought were your friends, and you find out they weren't. They really aren't. I don't know. That shit just doesn't sit. It doesn't sit well. But when, yeah, it's just like it's not right. It's not right, because here it is. It's like this, When everybody else is going through something, we can't find you. But when you going through something, you reaching out to everybody. Oh my God, pray for me. Oh my God. What? What? So it's like, come on. I don't know. I have to get that out. So yeah. So then, yeah. So when I was able to come outside, it was right around the Gay Pride weekend. And we were going through like the protests, and everything was, in full effect. Like, it was in full effect. You sit outside having a cocktail, a nice little summer cocktail, social distancing quarters and shit like that. And next thing you know, people were breaking store windows and busting shit up. And there was a lot of that happening, and then you had people protesting, walking around with signs and chanting and singing and whatnot. Some of the songs were pretty dope, though, I ain't gonna lie. It's just, it just sucks that all this, happened. But, we still got a long way to go. A long way to go. Then, this election, oh my God. Like, that's where you really learned a lot. If you ain't learned shit through this, I don't know. You really must have been asleep, because you learn a whole lot. You learn about the universe. You learn about people. Like, damn. I was like, wow. Like, people's views and stuff, and you're like, damn. I should have known this before I got to know you. You know what I mean? So, but like, you don't stop being friends with who they vote for. You stop being friends with what they stand for. That's it. That's how I see it. I'm not gonna you can, whoever you vote for is your decision. But if you stand for some racial shit and you talk about you fuck with me and shit like that, fuck out of here. Because you got a lot of people like that. But I made some, like I said, some really, really amazing friends during this quarantine. Shout out to these little group under the sea here. Like, really, 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 really fucking awesome. Spent like every day virtually happy hour with them, and as soon as the world opened up, we came outside, which was so cool. And we've gone to Fire Island, and we've been on vacations together, and we've done things together. Social distancing, we're all super safe. Like, everybody has to get tested anyway, because we all have like these jobs where it's required that we get tested, and some of us just like to get things shoved down our throats, up our noses. So we just do it anyway. So yeah. So they've been really, really nice, and I gotta say, it's like, like I have a really large family, you know what I mean? But sometimes you have to create a family to have one. It's really cool, but you still have like other family members that are really fucking awesome. Shout out to the Barnes, like I got in touch with them and the Cabreras and everybody at Rodriguez, and shout out to my cousin Kamaria and Zayara. Yeah. Yo, what's up, y'all? So anyway, I was on Zoom with them over the weekend. So yeah, what are y'all gonna do for the rest of the year? The year's almost over, so are y'all shopping? Like, what are you doing? Can't really go nowhere. Because as far as New York City, our last day of indoor dining is Monday, so it's gonna be 59 degrees tomorrow. So I'm probably gonna pop outside for a minute. You know, I usually, when I go, I'm just like tucked away somewhere because I'm like, y'all keep the cooties away from me. So yeah. So with that, y'all be safe. I'm just gonna wrap this up because I gotta go. Y'all be safe, be merry, and I guess we will talk next week. Alright? Peace! That's what I'm thinking. So remember when I was telling you I was reading this book titled This Book is Gay? It's by Juno Dawson. This is a really awesome book. I really wish that I had this book when I was a kid. And I'm gonna get into why. First of all, I'm gonna read a little bit of it. Read a little bit of back for you. Lesbian, bisexual, queer, transgender, straight, curious. This book is for everyone, regardless of gender or sexual preference. This book is for anyone who's ever dared to wonder. This book is for you. Don't be scared, it's just a rainbow. So anyway, there's a long-running joke after coming out as a lesbian, gay guy, bisexual, or trans person should receive a membership card and instruction manual. This is that instruction manual. You're welcome. Inside, you'll find answers to all the questions you ever wanted to ask, from sex to politics, hooking up, stereotypes, coming out, and more. This candid, funny, and uncensored exploration of sexuality and what it is like to grow up LGBT also includes real stories from people across the gender and sexual spectrums, not to mention hilarious illustrations. Therefore, you will be entertained, you will be informed, but most importantly, you will know that however you identify or don't, or whomever you love, you are exceptional. So are you. So does this book. You matter. So let's get into this. Oh my God. This introduction is gay, but it took some time to get here, and this is by David Letterman. So yeah, I was pretty oblivious, even though I kissed boys and liked it, even though I had other people call me gay, rarely as a compliment. Oh, hey, welcome. Even though my friends had asked if I was gay, later I found out that it was okay if I was. Even though it was pictures of guys that turned me on, I had a stash. That's one thing I didn't do. Even though I had a gay uncle who had brought his boyfriend to Thanksgiving without incident. Even though all the signs were there, I still didn't make the connection that I was. What's the phrase? Willfully ignorant. What I'm saying is, even though it was obvious, it took me a while to figure out that I was gay. Granted, now is a different time. At this time, even 5 years ago, is a different time. But the timeless reason I was so clueless was this. I couldn't recognize the clues. And since I didn't recognize them, I couldn't find them. Until I did. For me, it was a quote in my college newspaper. A fellow student was interviewed about how he knew he was gay. And his answer was simple. He said that whenever he fantasized, he thought about being with guys. And I thought, oh yeah, that. I don't know. Well, I'll get into that. I gathered more clues. I pieced together more answers. It got easier and easier. No, better than that. I was who I was meant to be. When I was in high school, there's no way a book like this would have made it to me. But what if it had? I imagine I would have figured out things sooner. I would have been less clueless, because this is, if nothing else, an extraordinarily helpful book of clues. And here's the thing about clues. They don't tell you what to do, but they do show you what you can do. This book is gay, but you don't have to be gay in order to read it. Whether you're curious about the gay people in your life, hello, because they are there. Oh, it says, clue, they're there. Questioning your own identity, or very sure your own identity, thank you very much, but a little lost in the ins and outs. Well, the ins and outs. This is a crash course. This is a crash course to prevent you from crashing. The honest truths in a world where there are simple truths. I've been gay longer than any current teenager alive. Pauses, freaks out a little. But I still found a new clue or two, or maybe 2 dozen. When I travel, I love to read guidebooks. First, to hear what other people have to say about where I'm going before I get there. Then when I arrive, I close the guidebooks, and then I have my own experience of the place. So think of this as a handy guidebook. Take in what it has to say. See what helps you figure out, then close it, then experience. I promise there's a lot to experience. I like what he has to say. So here's the note from the author. This book is gay. This book is gay is a collection of facts, my ideas, and stories, but also the testimonies of more than 300 amazing LGBT people who shared their stories. In July 2013, I conducted an international survey from which many of the quotes were taken and carried out in-depth interviews and with some selected participants, as not all of the participants are out and open about their sexuality or may have sensitive careers. Some of the names have been changed. Much respect to that. Throughout this book is gay, I've used LGBT to represent the full and infinite spectrum of sexual and gender identities. It's certainly not my intention for anyone to feel excluded by that initialism. I just needed a shorthand, or the book would have been a lot longer. A huge thank you to everyone who took part. I'm so proud of what we achieved with this book. Juno Dawson. Okay. Yeah, so see where we're going with this, right? I like what so far is very interesting, and I mean that beginning part was very relatable. Like very relatable. Like, you know, a lot of us who are now late 30s, early 40s, we didn't have this shit. So this is really cool. Like, I mean, this book really, it teaches a lot of the ignorant. Like, what you're not supposed to say. What's offensive, what's not offensive. What you should say, what you shouldn't say. Like, it teaches you everything. And I really glad I picked up this book. It's funny, I picked up this book at a thrift store. Funny. Another topic that it talks about is bullying in school. And I'm gonna get into bullying at home. Bullying in school. I'm just gonna read a little bit of this here. It's kind of like, oh my god. But it's relatable. Bullying in school. When I was in year 9, I came out and told my friends, and they were okay with it. And then I told my dad. I asked if there were any support at school because I was being bullied. People used to pick on me, and one time a load of guys stood in the corridor up against the wall and said, "Cover your asses." So I fucked up. I told the teachers I was getting bullied, and I went to the student counselor. After I spoke to her, she did a presentation about homophobic bullying. She got me to speak to everyone about it, which was really difficult. After the assembly, most of the bullies stopped. Only a few carried on. People would still come up to me and say how I was so brave. This is from a 17-year-old in the UK. I mean, it's crazy because, you know, you go through that shit. You go through bullying at school, then you go through it at home, and it messes you up. So you know, so good that this person was able, you know, this person found someone, a support person, was able to help them so they can, like, get the courage to, like, you know, do that. But it's hard. Some people take years. How to challenge homophobic language. That's so gay and no homo. I hate that shit. Or still used way too often in school. What can we do if we hear it? Here's a quiff system. Question. What do you mean by that? Why is it so gay? What is no homo? Understanding. Do you know what gay actually means? Institution. This school is a tolerant place. You can't say that. Feel. I consider that offensive and homophobic. Funny. Oh wow, you're right. Those shoes do love each other even though they're both female. So you should only challenge homophobic and transphobic language if it is safe to do so. Don't get into fights and put yourself at risk. Like I said, damn, where was this book? Then it says things that doesn't make things okay because it's not okay. Homophobic and transphobic bullying can take many forms. Verbal abuse, name calling, rumor spreading, exclusion, being left out of stuff, cyberbullying, online and text messages, death threats, physical violence, and sexual assault. Like these are things that this shouldn't happen, and if they are happening, hopefully find someone and you can reach out because it shouldn't happen. It needs to stop immediately. Like it's not a game. Like you shouldn't be doing this. It's not nice. So so on a cooler because oh my god, on a cooler thing, I'm gonna shift gears a little bit. This is a guide to recognizing your gay saints. Oh my god, the illustrations are cool. Look at that. You see, they got some cool ones here. Let's go. Let's start with Buck Angel, FTM, multi-tattoo porn star, filmmaker, and activist. Okay, cool. Bert and Ernie. The Sesame Street couple finally came out on the cover of the New Yorker when a key part of the United States Defense of Marriage Act was struck down by that country's Supreme Court in 2013. I still don't think they're gay. Beyonce. Look, if you're known worldwide by your first name alone, you qualify automatically, which leads to Cher. Oh my God, she's just Cher. Cher. This is like her right there. This is really cool. Brokeback Mountain, a heartbreaking Oscar winner about gay shepherds. That was a dope movie. Joan Crawford. Wow. If her turn and whatever happens to baby Jane doesn't do it for you, then her depiction in Mommy Dearest will. Tina! Bring me the axe! I could have sworn she said get me the axe when she was like in the Rose Garden. Betty Davis, the other half of the Baby Jane double act in a reference to Madonna's rap and Vogue. Betty Davis, we love you. Judy Garland, considered by many to be the ultimate gay icon, Judy tackles all the boxes: beauty, the voice, the camp credentials, the Wizard of Oz, and a tragic downfall. Cool. Elton John, the flamboyant singer and pianist, is now known more for his activism and dedication to his HIV/AIDS Foundation. So this book is really awesome, and it has like people like Lady Gaga, Rosie O'Donnell, Liza Minnelli, Ricky Martin. So this book is really good. So I think everybody should get into this book. If you're not gay, get into this book. If you are gay, get into this book. If you're curious, get into this book. This book is for you. Read it. I am going to continue reading it. I like it. And then I'm going to get into this. But once I finish this book, I'm going to really get into it. We're really going to talk about it. We're going to have a Q&A discussion. We're going to have some friends. We're going to talk about it. So, yeah. This was this version of story time. Y'all be good. I want you to like and subscribe to Chazz Period. Follow Chazz Period on Instagram and read some funny, interesting stories on ChazzPeriod.com. Alright? Y'all be safe. Oh! There's a song called On the Run by my friends Izzy Stars, and it's on all social media platforms. Check it out. It's really good. It kind of gives me that it's the time of the season. Anyway, that's what it gives me, but it might not give you that. But I'm just saying, it kind of got that kind of smooth because I'm into that kind of smooth kind of shit. So listen to it. Izzy Stars on the Run, all social media platforms. Yes, I'm plugging my homeboy. So yes, and then you have so that's it. So this book is gay. Izzy Stars. Like and subscribe to my channel, Chazz period. And I will talk to y'all soon. Y'all stay up. Be blessed. Mwah.